Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You are joining us for the Christian Anime Podcast, or well, I should just put this as a Christian Anime Podcast episode. Well, we're here to talk about the Texas law. I'm just gonna add the Discord because announcements. Does anyone have a link to SB20 regards to the Texas anime law? Would much appreciate it. I am trying to find this actual Texas law. 'Cause I'm just searching for it as much as possible, and I can't actually find it. I can find one thing. I think that might be the number. Wait, give us a second. Because wait, Texas law, SB20, something like that. Welcome, Reagan. SB20. Like, I'm not sure what the number I'm looking for is. But yeah, that's all it is. Welcome, a guy with a girl profile picture. It hasn't even passed yet. Yeah, I'm looking for it as much as possible. That's for sure. Because I'm trying to look at the Texas government, like I have this absolute hatred for all government websites that suck. That's all it is. So yeah, maybe bill tracker. But if you do have the actual if any of you actually have the actual bill or link to the website, like link to the website where we can actually read the bill, I'd love to have it. I kind of have the I do have the a link to something, but I'm not sure if it's actually the bill itself. So yeah. Wait, maybe this is it. Okay, maybe this is it here. I think I found it. Um Anyway, sorry. This is a very professional stream, as you can see, because we are definitely looking for all of these things. And it looks like my YouTube is glitching out because it isn't actually showing me how many people are on the stream. Thank you, welcome Caboose. Nice music you made? Question mark. Who is this? It passed unanimously, so it has passed. Okay. I'm gonna work under the assumption that this text here is the bill that we're actually looking at. The bill that we're looking for, or meant to be the bill we're looking for, right? I'm an old man that needs glasses. All right, so the website I'm nicking this from, I wish I could actually find it on the Texas State website itself, but this is the best we've got. So this is Texas Senate Bill 20. And it's relating to the creation of a criminal offense of possession or promotion of obscene visual material appearing to depict a child. Now, what I've seen on Twitter is a bunch of people, like all of the people on Twitter are like, oh, this is gonna ban anime. Let's actually read the bill itself, because that might not be the case. So all I've done is I've scrolled all the way down to the bottom here. I'll see if the Discord actually has it. Uh, I trust Rice Bowl in this. I feel like the one that Rice is sending me is a bit. It's Jover. It's Jover at that point. I'm gonna trust this one here. I'm pretty sure this is the text, and I've also found the particular amendment that it comes under. And because One of the debunkings I was reading apparently has the phrase indistinguishable in it as well. Appearing to is a bit too vague, but there's some context apparently that we'll provide. So here's the bill itself. I'm pretty sure this is the bill itself. And if not, I'd love for someone to actually send me a link to it. So there you go. So this is a bill to be entitled an act relating to the creation of the criminal offense of possession or promotion of obscene visual material appearing to depict a child. Now that's of course that's the like it appears to depict a child. Now, when we're talking about like anime and portrayal of like minors in a sexual way, I think it is I mean, it's not a bad thing if it is censored, right? When people are like, "Oh, this is gonna ban every single anime ever," um, I don't think it's such a bad idea. Like, let's say, I think there are ways for anime companies to get around this, right? Which is like they just self-censor, and I don't think it's like it's not the end of the world to do that. So that's the um yeah, when we're talking about something like Monogatari, I think it's just like so cringe. Like for example, like I'm okay with like lollies in anime. Like lollies are like an integral part of anime. I think it's pretty cool that they're very cute when they are presented in a very wholesome way. When I think of a couple of lolly characters like Kurumi from Licorice Recoil, very cute, right? Like she just adds something to the show, which was just by her personality, just by her looks. I watch lolly VTubers like Fallen Shadow, Gargura, very cute, very wholesome within the VTubing experience. So, however, I just don't support the sexualization of lollies. Like I support lolly characters as a the uh the appeal behind it, right? That I agree with that, just not the sexualization in particular. John Trippin, thank you for the $5 super chat. Most guys discussing the bill don't understand U.S. obscenity law. They don't understand the military. Most of the stuff here has been MI law for years. I see. Wait. Let's see. Caboose sent me. Okay. All right. I think this is a better version of the bill. It looks like I've been added. And in particular, lines 17 and 18. Okay, cool. I'm gonna assume this was the bill then, because I wasn't sure where this link actually came from, but we'll continue with this one here. But yeah, I've just got so many PDFs now, just open because I've been trying to look for the actual text of the bill. Whoa. What's that? Okay, sorry. It looks like my phone just went absolutely schizo. All right, cool. So, it's appearing to depict a child. Let's continue that. Be it enacted by legislature of the state of Texas, yada 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 yada. So, in this section, promote has the meaning assigned by section 43.25. Visual material has the meaning assigned by section 43.26, which is it on here? I guess we'll see where this leads to. Ah, so that's it. Okay, cool. So this is the actual penal code itself. No, I see it now. So Texas penal law. All right, cool. I gotcha. This makes total sense. I am just going to how do I do this in a way that this site won't be? Oh, this is so annoying. I wish this was just on a or why don't we do it this way? Can I do this as a PDF or can it be no, it's only HTML. This is really annoying. This is annoying. Damn you, Texas website, right? We're gonna have to do it really weirdly like this, chat. I'm so sorry. but the way that the Texas website has structured itself means that we're doing it this way. All right, so visual material has the meaning assigned to it by section 43.26 of the Texas Penal Code, and 43.26 we see is here: possession or promotion of that particular thing. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly or intentionally possesses or knowingly or intentionally accesses with intent to view visual material that visually depicts a child younger than 18 years of age at the time the image of the child was made. At the time the image of the child was made who is engaging in that particular act, including a child who is engaging in that particular act as a victim of an offense under section 28.02. And the person knows the material depicts a child described by subdivision 1. Yes. Okay, cool. There's that. A person commits an offense if the person knowingly possesses, accesses with intent to view or promote obscene visual material containing a depiction that appears to be of a child younger than 18 years of age, engaging in activities described by section 43.21. Let's see, 43. Let's see if we can find that. 43.21. I do not live in Texas. I am Australian. I'm just looking at this because like Twitter went absolutely, even with Chibi Reviews. I think Chibi Reviews love the guy, but he has like this thing with lollies, and he has this thing like, oh, we need to protect the lollies. Like he is what we would call like an anime. He's an anime conservative, I would say, because he wants to conserve as many things about anime as possible, and that includes like some of the really deviant stuff in regards to it. All right, let's look at the definition of what obscenity means according to the Texas Penal Code. Obscene means material or a performance that the average person applying contemporary community standards would find that taken as a whole appeals to the prurient interest in sex, or depicts, depicts or describes patently offensive representations or descriptions of ultimate particular acts, normal or perverted, actual or simulated, including that sodomy and bestiality. Patently offensive representations or descriptions of that sadism, masochism, lewd exhibition. I'm sorry if I'm self-censoring, guys, but I don't want this stream to be demonetized by YouTube. The male or female in a state or of covered in a discernibly turgid state, or a device designed and marketed as useful primarily for and taken as a whole like serious literary, artistic, political, and scientific value. There's a particular one I'm looking for here. There's a particular lining I'm looking for. I think it was indistinguishable. Yes, this was the particular line that I was looking for, which is the punishment for an offense under subsection A or C is increased to the punishment for a felony of the second degree if it is shown on the trial of the offense that obscene material that is the subject of the offense visually depicts activities described by section 43.21 engaged in by a child younger than 18 years of age at the time the image of the child was made, or 2, an image that to a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable from the image of a child younger than 18 years of age. Now that this particular line here, because I was looking at some of the debunkings of this, and one particular debunking that came to view was this guy here. I don't think we're actually mutuals, so very, very cool. So he reads here, after reading the Texas Penal Code, this headline is 100% fake. It's just a flat-out lie. Texas law applies to images that are indistinguishable from a depiction of a real child or depict a specific actual child. All the bill does is include more types of image creation. So that's the whole point of this law, right? Which is like, Yeah, you were under the impression I was going against the bill. No, I'm just covering some of the misinformation behind it. Now, Persona is not actually gonna be like when we're looking at all of the different types of anime is not actually going to be banned from this, because the bill when you read the bill itself, the punishment for an offense under subsection A or C is increased to the punishment for a felony of the second degree if it is shown on the trial of the offense that obscene material that is the subject of the offense virtually depicts activities described by section 43.2a engaged in by a younger child. We've already read that part, but that in particular, we've read this line here, right? An image that to a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable from the image of a child younger than 18 years, or an image created, adapted, or modified to be the image of an identifiable child. That's all it is. So the legal definition of obscenity is also different from the normal definition. It refers to actual that. If the law meant that what people are saying, then this bill would make Dragon Ball illegal because Bulma accidentally flashes Roshi, even though we don't see anything. The headline that Duxorso published is a complete lie to garner outrage clicks, and the people spreading it don't understand the law and think that you should go to jail for seeing Marin Kitagawa pictured below in a bikini. So yeah, that's ultimately it, right? This law doesn't actually ban anime. Because according to we've just read it in the Texas Penal Code, right? Which is, let's see, I'm just gonna get it there. We've just read it right there, which is an image to a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable from the image of a child younger than 18 years. The bill as well, I've seen a couple of claims, but from the looks of it, we'll read through the bill again. But we're pretty sure it's meant to be targeting, like it's only targeting like AI generated stuff. That's all it is. Yeah, I'm pro banning lolly pornography. Like as I said, right? I'm completely fine with the concept of a lolly character, right? There are plenty of good lolly characters in anime, like Kurumi, right? I'm trying to think of like Kurumi is the only one that comes to mind because like Licorice Recoil has been on my mind. But of course, like the only thing I'm against in regards to lolly characters is like the sexualization of lolly characters. When I think of someone like when we watch like Dragon Maid Sama, right? Like Kana was a genuinely cute character. It just really sucked that there was that sexualization. Like I enjoyed Kana's character from that anime. It's just that the only bad thing about it was the sexualization of the elementary school characters from Dragon Maid. So that's all it is. I have zero context whatsoever, but just looking at that one statement, while I like the idea, the only issue is that many images of people 18 or 19 are virtually indistinguishable from 17, which is under 18. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But again, like when it's referring there to virtually indistinguishable, right? When you look at like a drawing or an anime character, is that virtually indistinguishable from a real person? No, it's not. Right? That's the it's not necessarily. So let's say you were drawing a painting. If you drew something, a painting if you painted a painting in a particular way, so much so that it was virtually indistinguishable from an image of a child, that's how I read the law, right? So when I see Chibi reviews right here, when he's when he's clickbaiting here, so the law that Texas passed right now could potentially ban most anime and manga, aka series like My Dress Up Darling, according to how the law is written. People seem to be thinking it's just about AI, but it clearly goes way beyond that. Even if the characters look like Marin, for example, the anime or manga can and will be banned. And yeah, so this is just like, this is fear mongering, right? Like again, Chibi's not a bad guy. It's just that I think when he dies on hills like this, it's just like, you know what? I don't think you should be dying on hills like this. It's just it's a bit cringe. Now, in terms of censorship, I think there is a way to conduct censorship in a way that doesn't actually ban anime and manga. All it is like you just put a blur on the screen. That's all you do. You just do like a you blur the screen and as it's done. So yeah, does the law mention banning lolly or shota characters? No, it doesn't even do that, right? Let's actually read the law in full so that we actually have we have a idea of where this is at. So thank you, John Trippin, for another $5 super chat. In the US, there are two tiers for corn law. One is for anything that looks like a photo of a child, and that's banned. The other is for everything else. Miller test, ICIC. MJ Foy, I'm pretty sure that this law and laws like it will mostly be used to go against persons who create media that promote traditionalist marriage. I've no idea what you're meaning by that. See, the thing is, you can't actually ban the material because it would violate the First Amendment. Yes, but they're okay. Let's say let's cut out the free speech argument in particular. Let's just say free speech. Let's take that out of the equation first. I think you and I know that there. For example, like when we talk about like blasphemy, when people are blaspheming God, when people are going against Christianity, I think it's like to live in a society that is are we really okay with, yep, society, like the government protects your right to free speech, the government will allow you to do that. Should there be consequences for blasphemy? Well, there are consequences for blasphemy. Sorry, I don't know where I was going with that argument. When we're looking at like in particular like depictions of like child corn, right? When we're looking at child corn in particular, I think there is such a thing that we should like. Is it really going against the First Amendment if we are banning child corn or if we're banning obscene things? When we talk about like the LGBT stuff, right, which is like just absolutely permeating through society, I don't think it would be. Yes, it would be a free speech violation, but is it really such a bad thing if we are censoring LGBT content from society? No, I don't think so. It's not such a bad thing. Yeah, free speech doesn't cover corn. For real, for real. For the majority of the US being a country, they had laws restricting speech for First Amendment isn't about absolute freedom. It never was. Yes, yes. Thank you for the $5 super chat, David McCully. Made in Abyss and High School DxD fans in Texas are crying right now. But we've just read what from the Penal Texas Code how Made in Abyss and High School DxD. Even though I would absolutely want to ban High School DxD. I don't know what you have against Made in Abyss though, but I would actually be like, High School DxD is absolutely terrible. But we've just read in the Penal Texas Code how that wouldn't, High School DxD wouldn't actually be banned because again, when we're looking at the actual definition, we're saying an image that to a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable from the image of a child younger than 18 years old. And if you were to argue to a judge, oh hey, let's say let's compare this image. Let's compare this still from High School DxD and to an image to of an 18-year-old of an under 18. They wouldn't, like, a judge wouldn't do that, would they? Made in Abyss is full of the author's fetish, flesh toilet being a prime example. Oof. LGBT should be banned, for real, for real. Corn should be banned. Fornication should be banned. Adultery should be banned, for real, for real. Let's look at this so-called Miller test. I want to actually look at this. Let's look at the Wikipedia page for it. Thank you for bringing this up, John Trippin. I wasn't aware. All right, let's take a read of this. The Miller test, also called the three-prong obscenity test, is the United States Supreme Court's test for determining whether speech or expression can be labeled obscene, in which case it is not protected by the First Amendment to the United States Constitution and can be prohibited. The Miller test was developed in the 1973 case, Miller v. California. It has three parts, whether the average person applying contemporary community standards would find that work taken as a whole appeals to the prurient interest. Let's get a definition of prurient. Define prurient. Prurient, having or encouraging an excessive interest in sexual matters, especially the sexual activity of others. Okay, cool. Cool. Whether the work depicts or describes in a patently offensive way sexual conduct or those specifically defined by applicable state law. Whether the work, taken as a whole, lacks serious literary, artistic, political, or scientific value. The work is considered obscene if all three conditions are satisfied. Oh, that's insane. That's absolutely the so all three have to be satisfied. So yeah, that's cool. Also, okay. This would be challenged in the courses like this, and this is all dependent on like a court decision as well. So yeah, just got here. Are we talking? Are we about to have underground prohibition era anime clubs? No, we're not. Okay, that's this is all according to the Texas Penal Code. Remember, it would be virtually indistinguishable from the image of a child younger than 18 years of age. And if you were to compare an image of an anime character and compare it to a real person, that wouldn't fit the definition of it virtually indistinguishable. That's all it is. We got watch easies now. So yeah. So you could argue stuff like anime has artistic value. Yes, you could. And again, like I wouldn't agree with it. Like I wish there was a way to like ban stuff like High School DxD, right? I wouldn't want and I would support like censorship of particular anime if there were particular scenes sexualizing minors, right? However, is this what the law is saying? No. And this is all I'm calling out, right? Which is I'm calling out people like Chibi Reviews or people like Dixerto, which is like, oh, your anime is going to be banned. No, it's not going to be banned. That's not what the law is doing. So yeah, they would go for after furry artists from Texas. I think the material in question here is plain, and obviously, yeah, it's referring to like I would support like banning hentai, right? That's or banning pornography, like that. Those are the sorts of things that I support. Um, so yeah, that's all it is. It has to have serious artistic value. So furry would not be. Yeah, anime will be fine. So is the bill going after Shadman like incidents? Yeah, I think that would be the case that it's going after. Or like if you were someone trying to convict Shadman, this is the sort of law that you're trying to go after. But I think after, as Solionoth says, the law is concerned. So, for example, like Marin Kitagawa right here. Like, I've got an image right there. I'm not going to show an image of a child on stream, right? But if you were to compare this image of Marin Kitagawa and compare it to an actual child, like an image of a child under 18, would that be virtually indistinguishable? No. So, as he says here, he does mention something about AI, question mark. By the way, basically no anime, manga, or visual novels would ever be considered as obscene in the legal sense. Even the worst hentai would almost never meet the legal scrutiny of obscenity. And I would hope, like, let's say, I would hope there would be a really good lawyer who would say that. Using an image of Monogatari and talking about anime bans is just terrible clickbait. He does talk about AI somewhere here. Yes, here we go. Even the authors of this bill have said that its purpose is to combat AI content, which appears to be CSAM. So that's all it is. Shadman is in jail. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I guess would be better wording. If they were outright banning various iffy parts of anime, then you'd be annoyed. Well, look, even if they were banning bits of particular anime, I think there are ways around it. Like you can just if for US releases, you would just put like just put the blur on it, like put put the black censor bars, right? That's all it is. Oh, he was put in jail for drugs. That's great. That's great. Okay, let's continue on this. I think the line in particular that people are annoyed at was which is visual material defined under section 2B A person commits an offense if the person knowingly possesses, accesses with intent to view, or promotes obscene visual material containing a depiction that appears to be of a child younger than 18 years of age, engaging activities described by section 43.21. And if we are to look at section 43.21, now, yes, and this is the section, right, that is talking about. Section 43.21 has that context of virtually indistinguishable, right? So, okay, look, yes, arguments could be made. You could make this argument in a court of law. Is it gonna happen though? Oh, I couldn't say. I wouldn't know, because you're already, if you're working under Texas Penal Code, and that's the particular wording, which is virtually indistinguishable. Yeah, there you go. And regardless of whether the depiction is an image of an actual child, a cartoon, or animation, or an image created using artificial intelligence application or other computer software. So I think that wording there as well, a cartoon or animation, if that cartoon or animation is virtually indistinguishable from the child. So there it is. Well, the thing is, banning adult content is actually a very bad idea. That's how the rubber band snaps in the other direction of the Cultural Revolution of the 70s is a good example. Well, I support, like, even if you look at Japan, Japan actually has really, really high, okay, Japan has like a lot of, even though it's got a really big adult industry, it's actually got really high restrictions in regards to like adult content. So yeah. What does appears to be mean then? Appears to be, again, if we're reading this in context of section 43.21, it would be an image that a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable to a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable from the image younger of a child younger than 18 years of age. So that would be appears to be. So Japan already has strict censorship laws. I think like if we were to adopt like a censorship law, we should adopt like Japan's censorship laws. So yeah. Who'd be considered reasonable? Okay, guys. I don't want to hear like this garbaggio, which is like, oh, who's considered reasonable, or oh, what would be like? Of course, like these laws are written in a way, which is such it's open to legal debate, right? Like the law is written, and then you're able to litigate that in court and make the arguments, whatever, and do how the judge interprets it, right? That's the whole point of the law. If we were like, I think if we were to be very, very specific in terms of certain wording, like, of course, most people are reasonable. Most people have common sense. Yes, I get that most people suck as well and are really stupid. But yeah, a lot of the anime industry is located in Texas. I doubt they would shoot themselves in the foot. I didn't realize that. I saw a video by a guy who watched Japanese as an experiment for something, and he mentioned how they couldn't actually see the stuff itself. It's censored. Yeah, it is censored. I'm pretty sure because it's Japan has strict censorship laws. Bans don't change people's hearts, but they do place a massive barrier in front of most people that keeps them from doing bad things. Yes, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Here's an example, right? The ban on murder. When people are like, oh, people are still going to murder. Even if you put a ban on murders, people are still going to murder. What the law does, the law makes it very clear to the community what is acceptable according to the law and what is unacceptable according to the law. So yes, you could make an argument. Yes, of course, people are still going to engage in this, right? As in Japan, right? Even though Japan has very strict censorship laws, that they still have one of the biggest adult industries in the world. It doesn't change people's hearts. However, it does like people are still going to do it. However, at least let's put barriers in place and let's put regulations in place in order to stop that from happening. It's the same argument against abortion, which is so cringe when people are still going to commit abortions. Yes, but when we're considering 90% of abortions are elective, and it's for really simple reasons, like the person didn't have protection, or it's for a very, very simple reason, like economic, or I just don't feel like having a baby, or yada yada yada, right? We're stopping those people. Of course, we might not be able to stop someone who has uh, conceived a child through unfortunate circumstances, but those are the sorts of things that we're talking about. Yeah, like with banning corn. Sure, the people who really want to watch corn won't stop watching it, but it would prevent so many of the normal young men who would have got sucked into it, who would have got sucked into it unwillingly. When we people talk about alcohol prohibition as a failure, I'm just like, by what metric? Consumption went down massively. Okay, look, when people talk about the failure of prohibition, literally the only reason why prohibition failed is because the United States government didn't put enough money into actually enforcing the law. So that's all it is. When people are like, oh hey, crime actually got worse as a result of prohibition. No, 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 no. The only reason why the prohibition of alcohol failed in the United States is because the federal government didn't spend enough money into actually enforcing it. That's all it is. Law also applies punishment for violations. Who would argue that murder shouldn't be punished because people would still do it? Yes, for real, for real. Although too bad the judicial system is corrupt itself, I think you don't have enough. Like, mate, K. You're not living in some third world country where people are able to buy off the system. Of course, in the United States, like, people are still able to, like, buy the best lawyer. Like, you can Saul Goodman yourself out of court and out of jail. However, I think you place too little faith in your justice system for that. So yeah, and there needs to be harsher punishments for the violation as well. For real, for real. The threat of punishment is the deterrent. Is anyone actually in favor of the prohibition? Again, so let's take this law out of the discussion now. Like, I think we've already established, like, anime's not going to be banned as a result of this. However, the principle of banning anime, which does depict minors in a sexualized manner, do I support that? Yes, I do. Right, I do support censorship. It's one of my it's actually one of the video when I did the live stream reacting to chibi reviews. That censorship was a good thing. I actually lost a couple of subscribers, but that's perfectly fine, right? We are no, Drax, you're not conservative then. You're just a libertarian, right? Conservative is a word which is used in very interesting ways. So if I was to compare a conservative and a libertarian would have a high distrust of government. Conservatives would be when I think of the difference between a Christian conservative, or sorry, okay, maybe conservatives don't trust the government, right? But when I look at, like, what are the positions of certain Christian conservatives, or in the European sense, I'm using the term. I'm not saying Christian Democrat in the American sense. I'm using in the European sense. Christian Democrats or Christian democracy would be in favor of using government to actually enact certain things. So I think it's a very American conservative thing to not trust the government, which is like, yes, I have those libertarian things melding in me. But if you are someone if you are a Christian, like, you should be in favor of things like the death penalty, right? And yes, you might not trust the government, but the concept of the death penalty should still be there. So yeah, I don't know many conservatives who still trust the government. Half of them think the election of 2020 was stolen. Well, do they trust the government now that Trump's in power? So there you go. An ID requirement isn't even in place for these things. Yeah, so, like, even let's do the absolute minimum of actually putting a ID requirement. I disagree with your censorship take, and that's perfectly fine. You cannot be conservative and libertarian at the same time. For real, for real, for real, for real. Prohibition was terrible. Alcohol can be and is used in medicine. It was a hit on food security and traditional American/European medicine. Okay, let's say, like, okay, I can grant you that. Again, like, but what was the purpose of prohibition? The whole purpose of prohibition was to stop people, like, because there are, like, actual actual terrible things that can happen as a result of alcohol, and there are societal sins that can occur. And now, does the Bible is the Bible in favor of prohibition? No, it's not actually. Well, it doesn't say for a certain. Like I would still like, this is one of the things that I think I would clown on my own Baptist denomination for, which is like, we use grape juice, which is, hey, that's fine, but I think communion should actually include like wine. I actually agree with the Catholics on this, that it should actually have wine. ID requirements are already in place for corn of actual people in the US. Yes, it's good. It's not about hierarchy, but about relationships, such as church, family, and yes, some government. Drinking isn't a sin, drunkenness is. For real, for real. Alcohol is used in communion. It was stupid to try and ban. I'm pretty sure Prohibition actually had. So this is what that's one of the stories from Prohibition, which is priests would continue drinking because alcohol for religious services was actually exempted. So yeah. Yes, God doesn't care about alcohol, but he doesn't like it when you get foolishly drunk. And of course, Jesus's first miracle was to turn water into wine. So there you go. The traditional view of Christianity and state and church would be represented by a dual-headed eagle. One head is the government, the other head is the church, and they are symbiotic. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would support something like that. Welcome, Writer for Life, who loves Jesus. Thank you, Katari. Don't forget, alcohol is a drug. Yes. Yes, I appreciate that you loved my Sakamoto Days video. So yeah. I appreciate everyone who does like actually watch my videos. And again, it's like I absolutely love reading your comments. I love the encouragement, because like this is what I do it for. I do it for you guys. I do it because I know there's a massive contingent of people who get that. Why would I drink alcohol when I can drink chocolate milk? Actually, it's one of the interesting things about like Gen Z. It sucks. It sucks because, okay, it doesn't suck. The first part of this doesn't suck. So Gen Z is actually decreasing in alcohol consumption, but they are increasing in marijuana use. That's all it is. So yeah. Hey, that's all good, Palcius. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely rest of your evening. So what's going on? Hey, no, we're I'm about to end stream because we kind of just have gone over it. But basically, we're talking about this Texas law. So people like Dexerto are like, oh, Texas senators have banned a bill that, if signed into law, would make several games, anime, and manga illegal in their own states to own in the state. But as we've read in according to the Texas Penal Code, right? Like the Texas Penal Code bans, in particular, images. An image that to a reasonable person would be virtually indistinguishable from the image of a child. So if we're talking about like anime, like art drawn in an anime art style, is that virtually indistinguishable from the child? No, it's not. So it's not going to get banned. What it's going to ban in particular, which it should be banning, right, which would be AI generated art, or people who paint or draw in a particular way, which would be virtually indistinguishable from a child. That's all this is banning. This ain't banning any anime, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure for me and you, we would disagree for a lot of things. Hey, that's perfectly fine. I am Baptist though. Protestant Baptist. That's Protestant Baptist, bro. That's what I am. So yeah, no, we would disagree on a few things on Orthodox Christians, and I would, no disrespect for the Orthobros, but some of the stuff you say, guys, like if I was to become Catholic or Orthodox, I would go Catholic because Catholicism has a greater intellectual tradition, and Orthodox is just like some of the stuff you say I would clown on, but I'm not going to mean we're going to be super ecumenical. I can kind of get it because there are a lot of inappropriate shoujo anime. Yes, and that's the sort of stuff that we should be banning. I forgot to mention bocce. Is bocce is bocce gonna be banned according to this law? No. Thank you for the $2 super chat, John Trippin. You're not tripping. That's for sure. Let's look at why don't we end the stream with this? Proverbs 31, 6-7. I have a sneaking suspicion. I did look at this. Did I? Ah, no. That's I didn't look at this. I was looking at another Bible verse the other day, last night for a video. Proverbs 6, 31, verse 6 to 7. Let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. Ain't that a thing? Can you explain why you'd ban high school DxD? Understand from a Christian perspective as like, okay, if you I still remember this from my high school days, but we used to clown on it. There was a friend who would sit at the back of maths class, and then he would watch High School DxD because he was just bored of maths class. And I would be next to him as well, and it would just be some of the most like it's some of the most degenerate stuff ever that I would like don't even bother watching it. So like that's why I would ban it, because it's like it does depict minors in a way which is incredibly sexual, which is like and again, this law wouldn't ban it, right? Because it's like it's is High School DxD virtually indistinguishable from virtually indistinguishable from a child? No, but it's drawn in a way which is trying to invoke lust, and that's why that's what I would ban. I would ban pornography, all corn outright, right? That's what I'm advocating for, and High School DxD would be under that definition. So yeah. I don't know if this law will ban, for example, like even stuff like lolly, the sexualization of lollies. This law wouldn't ban that, unfortunately. As much as I would love it to ban the sexualization of lollies, it doesn't, unfortunately. So yeah. And as I said at the start of the stream, like I'm okay with certain lolly characters. I'm actually gonna let's see some of my favorite lolly characters. As I said, I'm okay with lolly characters. It's just the sexualization is I'm not a big fan of. This is why I don't follow Gargura on Twitter, even though like I enjoy watching Gargura's streams, because like it's cute and I like being around cute things, right? But I don't follow her Twitter because it's just full of like fan art of her, which is just incredibly degenerate. Oh yeah, no, there's a few Girls in Panzer characters. Tomea Koga, I would consider almost fits the definition of a lolly. Or Fuko from Clanad. I'm trying to see what else. Oh, there's a good Steins Gate character, which is a lolly character as well. So yeah, there you go. So I'm not opposed to the concept of a lolly. I'm just opposed to the sexualization of it. Like I'm pretty sure most of the girls in Madoka Magica are all lollies as well. So thank you for the $2 super chat, MJ Foy. You're glad that you support banning corn, for real, for real. Is there a difference between a lolly and a short girl? No, there's no difference. So again, when we're talking about lolly, like lolly is a body type, in particular, like that specifically refers to a petite body type, and they also act in a cute way. Now, I do have a IRL friend who is actually I do have an IRL friend, but it's only because she's Asian and she's super short. That's all it is. She's super short. She's very petite as well. We always joke that she could pass off for a high schooler. Like we could bring her into a high school and she would pass off as one. So yeah, like people like this genuinely exist. So there you go. And that's perfectly fine, Lunatic. You don't have to show up on stream. Every character in Lucky Star, yes. All right, cool. Chibi is completely different. Chibi is a completely different art style, so that's all it is. Okay, I'm happy to end it there. So there you go. That's it for today's stream. Thank you very much for joining me today. We had a bunch of super chats come in, so I very much appreciate your support. Tomorrow we have the Aramanga Sensei video coming out, so I do hope you enjoy it. So that's coming out Wednesday morning for my time. It's not coming out. Sorry, it's still evening for American folks. It would come out Tuesday evening for you American folks. So that's all it is. So yes. Your cousin is 4'8". Oh goodness. No, it wouldn't. And again, it's a very specific body type. If she's a petite 4'8", then that would make her a lolly. So yeah. All right. See ya. See ya. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care of yourself.